I want to talk about control because it is a big factor when you're dealing with the painful reality that you have an immature man. Like I said, when a system is dysfunctional, a woman has to do something. We talked about overfunctioning, and that's one thing that often happens. The other thing, which is a natural response for a woman, will have to put her faith and her effort into control. And control is a big idea. It's really big, okay? Control is faith. It's believing. It's a heart thing. It's not a head thing. It's a heart thing that control, I have faith in you, that I can construct something that gives me the desired effect that I want to have in my life. So control, you're going to give me this. We're going to come up with some kind of plan or strategy or belief. And when we implement whatever we've created, you and I, we're going to get the results that I want. Happily ever after, a mature man, a great family. So let me give you a few examples. If I'm a good mom, my children will always be good. It's not true. I know bad moms who have good kids. I know good moms who have kids who make bad choices. Okay? If I yell enough, he'll hear me. Okay? That's you in control saying, hey, here's our method, and our outcome is I'll be heard. Okay? Generally, if I do X, he will always do Y. Okay? If I nag him, it'll get it done. If I silence him, if I withhold sex, if I control something, then I will get the desired outcome that I want. Okay? Which in this case might be a fully developed man. All right? And if you ever find that formula, you call me. We'll do a book, okay? But the problem is this. Control is an illusion. It does not exist. It's a fairy tale. You believing in control, you might as well believe in the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, or some other fictitious creation, because control is a total illusion. You have no control over another person, no matter how much you love them. No matter how much you love, you have no control, because control does not exist. Nothing you do guarantees a result of the other person. We all have this free will, this disposition to make good or bad choices. You know, sadly, I got a phone call just yesterday from a family member telling me about one of my nieces just died, 27 years old. Lots of bad choices. I had no control over that. Her mom had no control over that. Okay? People make choices. Your faith in control can cause all kinds of problems or dysfunction because you're believing in something that doesn't exist. Okay? And that creates dysfunction because it's not true. And when you really believe a lie, the results are real. When you really believe my anger is going to get him well, you'll activate that with full faith from your heart and push really hard, but you will not get the results. You'll be disillusioned because control doesn't exist. Now, if you believe you do X, your husband will mature faster. This is unrealistic at the very best and delusional at the very worst. Okay? You are not a variable in how fast or how well he matures. You did not cause it. You cannot cure it. Okay? I think it comes from Al-Anon. Okay? Control, or faith in control, is exactly the opposite of accepting that you're powerless over your husband's behavior. In recovery, one of the gifts of recovery, you know, if you're not in a group, I encourage you to be in one, is this word of powerless. You accept that you don't have power over other people. You don't have power. And if you believe you do, this segment of control is going to be really frustrating for you because you're believing something that's not true. And if I can give you a gift, it would be to take control, the faith you have in it, and put that faith somewhere else. Because it's hurting you, it's hurting probably your husband, it's hurting your family, because you're believing a lie. You don't control anything. I don't control anything. I got lots of degrees. I'm relatively intelligent. I don't control other people. I can't. And actually, I don't even want to, okay? Powerless doesn't feel as good as the fantasy of control, because when you feel like you're in control, you got your little Superwoman suit on and you're gonna, you're gonna change the world. Okay, when you're powerless, you don't have a Superman suit. You just are an authentic human being in a world that's bigger than you, that you don't control, and people can do silly things, and those silly things can even cost you a lot, and you can't control that. Okay? So, when you're powerlessness, okay, that's a good thing. But when you get into control, this causes you to get less rational, because your premise is wrong. You get more manipulative, more emotionally out of control, and trying to control your immature husband. So what happens is, he's immature, you believe in control, you start amplifying whatever behavior or map you came up with, you in control, to make him mature. He doesn't get mature, so you keep amplifying. That can become crazy making all by itself, and then the husband will start pointing at you. And there'll be some validity to, hey, it's not working. So if you see behaviors in your life where you're really trying to use control, I really caution you, write them down, talk to a therapist or a support group person, and try to bring that down, because you're believing that you can do something you cannot do. Okay? And if you're guilty of some of the crazy stuff, okay, to get outcomes, you have been totally seduced by the idea that you have power you don't have. And I've met women who were, they literally had more faith in their ability to control than they did in gravity. I mean, they really believed it. And it's like telling someone there's no Santa Claus. But there's no Santa Claus. There's no control. Okay? And I would recommend you do if your spouse is a sex addict or intimacy anorexic, do the partner work, do the powerless stuff, do the 12-step workbook, move through that process for yourself, because you don't want to be living out of reality, okay? The quicker you truly admit that you're powerless, you have no power to create outcome over your husband's emotional immaturity, the quicker you heal and can be an asset in restoring sanity instead of a liability. Control can be addicting. You don't want to go down that road where you keep believing in something that doesn't exist more and more and more. You're like the 50-year-old who still believes in Santa Claus. It kind of gets odd after a while, okay? After all, believing in your superpowers has been a way for you to survive his immaturity. So I understand surviving. I've had to survive. But that coping mechanism of control can hurt everybody, especially you, okay? So if you're in the fantasy and he is, if you're in fantasy and he is immaturity, that combination can go on for a very, very long time, because basically he can just relax and go, you know what, you keep believing in that, honey, and I'll keep doing what I do, which is stay immature. But you can keep amping up the control, and it's kind of funny to watch you, and it gets entertaining, but it's not going to get results, okay? And what you want is results. You don't want to believe in control. So some people do a thank you and goodbye letter to control. Some people get accountable about their control issues. But if you're struggling with this, this is something that you need to address.